before starting, as a quick introduction, basically in terms of agenda, Dr. Sanchez is going to give a presentation on new education initiative that we're going to be pursuing internally. Then after that, I'll be going over the hackathon in terms of how we're going to execute and what the fundraising initiative is going to be. Then we're going to have a reveal of the beta for the new updated site. And then finally, we'll cap off with explaining the new org structure and vision for the future. So with that, feel free to begin, and I'll take this slide off.
Thank you, Oscar. Welcome everybody that's online and those that will watch later offline. I wanted to start off today by sharing with you a vision for education outreach. I think this is one of the topics that is continued to come up over and over ever since we started. And the possibility here is a great one, right? We have done education in the same way for a very long time. What could we leverage when it comes to AI to be able to improve on our efforts? And as I set out here, I wanted to talk about some of the big questions. So AI, it's incredible. We continue to be impressed by what it can do, but there's also some big questions to answer. And I wanted to walk through the challenges that previous technologies have had and then contrast that with what we might be able to do as a community. So let me start off with the very first big one. The World Wide Web encompassed the globe, connected us, and made access to information certainly cheaper. Today, there are tens of millions of books available for free that we can all read and enrich our lives by it. However, the question that I would ask is, has the availability of free books online educated the world? And I think if we're honest, we would say that no, it has not. Now, the next thing you might think of when it comes to big technology disruptions is, what about MOOCs, the massive open online courses? Certainly a tremendous resource. At MIT, there is something called MIT Open Courseware, where we take the classes that we teach in our residential program here on campus, and we open it up to the world. Anybody can take it for free. More than that, there are course platforms where those collections of all the universities, not just MIT's, as you can see here, Berkeley, Harvard, and others, are made available to the world as well. But then I would come back to the question that I asked just a couple minutes ago. Has the availability of free online courses educated the world? And here the data is pretty clear. When it comes to these materials and these courses, we have over 90% attrition, which means that for a very small percentage, under 10%, it actually works. For the rest, it does not. Now, we know what works. We've known it for a millennia. The expert working directly with the student and covering the tutorial cycle. This is by far the best that we can have. It can adjust up and down as needed and meet that need in a way that no other medium has been able to do it. And we can scale it up to a point. However, not everybody can attend. Not everyone can afford it. Now, when it comes to non-traditional programs, you all know what this is and how different this is. There is an opportunity that we've seen in the successful programs, non-traditional programs, to add a few factors that change the experience. That is, to share the journey with a cohort, to give access to faculty, to connect with experts, to support that learning process throughout with resources and people, to create community and to connect with peers. In other words, a course is not just a list of videos and exercises. And when we provide that context, then we get the opposite. We get over 90% completion. And so what I'm proposing here, and this is the initiative that Oscar and I have been discussing, built on a lot of the feedback that we've seen from the community as we have begun down this road, is to do outreach by MIT alumni. At this point, there are over 50 countries represented. And if we can combine those human factors that allow us to achieve those high completion rates with the things that are difficult to do with people and that we can scale with AI, we could have a winning combination. In the end, as we have seen, there's a tremendous amount that we can leverage now. Voices, video, attention algorithms, the variations of speech that are necessary for this. So if we can empower the community to create local chapters, to create cohorts, perform as faculty, and encompass those local communities, then we have a tremendous opportunity. And the role of MIT here could be to provide those resources, a template, if you would, for what can be taught. So develop a curriculum, create the lessons to be shared with the world in an open source manner. That is, we can lead, but others can suggest and contribute, much like an open source project. And we can also start off with a Boston chapter where we host at our institution, MIT, the first instance of this. And so if we do that, our hope is to use that template to share our content with the world. And this is something that we're very excited about, and there's a tremendous amount of interest, even at a local level, but several nations, in fact, we have already started conversations with them around this possibility. And so with that, I simply wanted to share with you our vision, and let me pass it back to Oscar, and thank you, and take care, everyone.
Thank you so much. So I'll continue on with where we were at in terms of agenda. Really excited to continue on that project. I think this is going to be really, really big win for the community. So in terms of moving forward, now I'm just going to overview the hackathon. Basically, it's an initiative that I've been planning alongside Rodrigo and a lot of other people in our in this new educational project that we're going to be launching. Secondary, we're going to also be using GenAI Global as a open source collaboration hub for AI projects, which has already begun with initiatives such as ethical AI, the new AI Forge department, business model canvas project that just started alongside our agent ops department, which has been doing great things with creating open source agents on their end. And third deliverable just being a knowledge sharing platform, which is seen through our posts on LinkedIn, which come from our community, discussion channels internally, and in-person events, which we've had our first one just last month. And so basically the idea is to raise funds to continue delivering on these platforms, A through C, and give us the ability to expand in each of these areas. So continuing forward, basically the way these donations will drive impact is by allowing us to support those people who are going above normal volunteer hours, so that way we'll be able to have sustainability going into the future, keep this community running, cloud services, especially for agent development, which is something I've been looking to provide, tooling that goes into running this community and making it sustainable, such as Trello, etc. Conferences globally, which we've been gearing up to do, but need that back funding in order to be able to execute there, and educational projects such as the ones that were listed above, being able to have these instructors and building out forward. So in terms of how we're going to be doing that, that was just basically stating that the service we'll be using is GiveButter for the donations. But in terms of deployment for the hackathon, the idea is basically to pull from the internal community. And the idea is to hack marketing automation through GenAI tooling. Basically, the way in which this will work is that teams will be drawn and deployed from the community. I'm just quickly checking one thing. Will be drawn and from the community. Basically, from these teams that for anyone who wants to take part, one member will be given the capability to post on the official GenAI Global LinkedIn, pointing to that GiveButter campaign. The idea is that in the first week of this hackathon, we will be teaching the baseline GenAI package that the teams will iterate upon. Then from there, once they have learned that initial GenAI package, then the team will pick a tactic in which to act upon said tooling. And then from there, there will be a planning phase in which, based on the tactic, they plan an execution strategy for said GenAI package. And then on week 4, they will execute upon that plan. And dependent on who can raise the most funding, most impressions. Oh, sorry about that. And one more, most funding and most impressions. They will be the people who win this this hackathon. So continuing forward, I'm going to move on. Basically, in terms of the GenAI package we'll be deploying with, it will be using the tools Agent Prompter, Prompt Buddy, Bot Factory, Video Gen Suite, and Make.com. The concept here is that basically you'll be able to use each of these tools to create automation when it comes to marketing. So for instance, with Lovable, we can do microsites to push to the GiveButter side. Agent Prompter, which is a custom GPT, you can use to build prompts to the ChatGPT agent tool to do outreach for mass lead generation. You can create emails for you, deploy on them, do the research to see what would be the best tie-in to the domain that we're operating in. Prompts Buddy will allow for better yield deep research runs, which can then allow for better execution in terms of a content calendar that you can develop. There's the Bot Factory, which allows for creation of bots for branded content for mass generation. And then the Video Gen Suite, basically there's a suite of GPTs that I developed alongside team that can be used to create high fidelity prompts that can be executed upon within Runway, Midjourney, or Google Veo for high quality outputs in video generation for marketing campaigns. The idea with Make.com, in terms of it being the automation glue, is that this can automate this whole entire process in terms of the whole package as a whole. So moving forward, this is the idea for marketing. We have option A, which is the AI ad world premiere. Basically, the concept here is that you schedule a premiere for an AI ad that you're going to share on our LinkedIn, saying that at the end it's going to have that campaign. use that automation to build hype for this drop, and then potentially this ad will lead to conversions. Here's the workshop concept that I was speaking about. Basically just outlines a methodology for doing that. Sorry, I didn't switch on this slide. This just continues on, say the same thing as applying these GenAI tools to lead to these conversions. And I think this is where probably there'll be the coolest applications here. Now, in terms of the beta, the link is attached. I can just post it in chat as well. Let me just quickly open this model that's going to be coming to GenAI Global. As we spoke about in our previous keynote/vision statement, we have been moving towards a nonprofit status from community org to nonprofit. Basically, the reasoning behind this, and that's how we're able to do things like the hackathon now, and a lot of other cool initiatives. The idea here is that through making this switch, we'll be able to raise funding to create sustainability for this amazing community and organization that's being developed, continue pushing on cool events such as conferences, and as stated before in that hackathon part of the presentation, just allow for a lot more scalability internally. So this is just going to basically explain how the setup is going to be internally now under this new mode by turning this into a entity. So in order to maintain compliance with that, the MIT side, Dr. Sanchez alongside me to be able to make sure everything is above board in terms of our relationship and ability to execute strategy. The transition, as we were saying, or as I was saying earlier, is just to maintain sustainability and moving into the future and allow for scalability. And this is just some overview of what the day-to-day governance will look at the founder level. So in terms of my responsibilities, I'm going to be running day-to-day operations end-to-end. I have to assist in final decision authority for strategy, programs, operations, communications. I'll help in terms of guidance for directors in terms of OKRs, roadmaps, and I'll review the outcomes of these implementations, as talked about in terms of that sole member proprietorship. I'll be stewarding those partnerships with MIT faculty and industry, protecting brand quality and risk. I also will be assisting in org-wide tool strategy, so the implementation of GenAI tools across departments, building and maintaining prompt and agent libraries to enhance things that are going on internally, and doing consultation alongside Dr. Sanchez to refine my strategy in those day-to-day operations, but maintaining clear vision and decision points on my end to push the community. So in terms of Dr. Sanchez, he will be running as co-founder alongside me. We'll have co-equal authority, sharing final decision power with alongside me, being able to override if there's a disagreement type of thing, but be equal control there. Decision model, I'll be running the day-to-day, and Dr. Sanchez will be giving consultation on those big checkpoints in terms of moving forward. So propose, get that consultation, refine, move forward type of thing. And then, as you saw today, bringing in programs into the community and org to further enrich everything that we're doing in terms of those deliverables I had listed on that hackathon side. So continuing forward now to exciting part, I'm going to be announcing the directors and heads. So sorry, I missed that slide. I have two presentations going on simultaneously. So that's the slide I was just overviewing. And now we're going to be moving over to directors and heads. So I'm going to run through each of the directors, who they are, what the vision is for their department, and as well listing what GenAI tools they look to implement within each of their respective departments. So moving forward, first up, we have Director of Marketing and Communications, which is Catherine Balke. Big kudos to Kat. She's really helped in terms of everything we've got implemented in on the marketing side. So in terms of role, she's senior leadership, reporting to founders, sitting on the director team, driving integrated brand and content strategy across LinkedIn, new social channels that we are probably going to be launching in the coming months, such as YouTube, potentially TikTok to boost that engagement, website, newsletters, and events. So making sure that's that cohesive brand identity, decisions, rights, and approval. So she has full decision-making authority within that marketing and content operation vehicle, grants final concept approvals, and basically operates that weekly rhythm when it comes to deploying on each of these members. 150. Catherine, really excited to be building alongside you. So moving forward, in terms of vision for the department, the idea is to get within a 12-month outcome, 2,000 members, 150,000 cash for the fundraising efforts, 1,500 plus event reach across hackathon. So what we're trying to launch on that side. The goal is to serve both students, PE as well, AI curious business leaders, engineers, and researchers, and being able to do that across multiple overview with me, department coordination, moving forward, vision for this finance and technology operations department. The idea is to establish GenAI Global as a model for nonprofit operational excellence, deliver transparent, compliant, and efficient finance practice. Really deserve it, and excited to continue building with you as well. So next up, we have Xiaopu. So in terms of here is its reputation and positions GenAI Global as a thought leader in AI, and prototype emerging workflows to keep content cutting edge, efficient, and resonant. So always continuously iterating on, hey, how do we get an even higher viewership? Big thank you to you, Kiki. The work you're doing is amazing, and similar as with Nikhil and Kat, can combine with GenAI Global's mission, equity, goals, corporate sponsor, right? With AI-powered platforms for code generation, data analysis, presentation design, and content creation. So, for instance, code generation, codex, data analysis, cyber risks. So next up, we have David White, so Director of Cybersecurity. In terms of his security as enablement, reduce friction. Big kudos to you, David, and excited as well to apply AI co-pilots for and Jose, and reusable, and openly shared. So we'll improve on that hackathon side. So same with you, Oscar, who I'm about to is tailoring onboarding processes based on volunteer role or position within the community, rapid role matching, continuous integration, real-time insights, and security-first approach, student and instructor cohorts monthly and quarterly. So basically within build open source collaboration within that course development and real development. So let me just, okay, I just want to make sure. I thought I was missing a slide, but anyways, head of agent development. So the head of our agent development instructors is Brandon Pendleton. He's done an amazing job in terms of stewardship over the cohorts that we have currently in our open source agent development class. He's leading a team delivering that training. He's overseen curriculum development, iterating on the initial course set that I had helped developed, opens and is trying to build open source collaboration within that course development and real world AI deployment, and ensures ethical standards, quality, and safety with SME and project leads. So in terms of department vision, automate onboarding to form student and instructor cohorts monthly and quarterly. So basically within these classes, the onboarding process from you're inside the server to joining one of those classes, provide material and registration in a way that is seamless for the cohorts, tying back into that onboarding side, scale departmental impact, using tech-driven collaboration-first processes, increase saturation of students from underserved communities and industries that have low tech AI saturation, and create sandboxes with their own GitHub llama so that people can practice what they're learning. So let's move forward. Let me see if this is loading. Sorry, my bad. I just want to make sure and continue. Okay, so in terms of GenAI integration, use GenAI for dynamic data procurement and resource creation, automate onboarding internally for the class, and leverage non-LLM automation to support, monitor, and enhance training at scale. So big shout out to you, Brandon. Just the short time you've joined in, done amazing impact on the community, and I know that the success we're having on that agent dev course is big in large part due to you helping in terms of that stewardship there. I really appreciate it and can't wait to keep building alongside you as well. Cool. So continuing forward, we have our head of documentation, which is Anaga Pamdi. She's leading documentation strategy across all departments, ensuring clear, consistent that translation of vision into deliverables, especially with bandwidth, splitting that operational day-to-day stewardship really flow. Externally, this approach will also support the marketing team and amplify GenAI alongside you guys. And I'll see you guys. Oh, and one thing. So for those of you who are waiting on the lovable custom GPT to drop, I will have, just due to preparing for this keynote, there was a slight delay, but I should be able to have that video up by tonight. So you guys will have access to that workshop. It will also include the agent tool part that I wasn't able to include on the live stream, as well as because of this keynote this week, I wasn't able to do my usual workshop that I do every week. Those will resume this Thursday, you guys. So Thank you so much, and so excited to keep on growing.